Finding a role amid the chaos of Belarusian revolution is an exercise in diplomacy for the EU. After the condemnation of electoral fraud that secured Lukashenko the presidency for a sixth time and the violent repression of protests, the bloc is wondering how to support the demand for democracy in the country. Despite the opposition affirming that this is not a geopolitical revolution, the strong ties between Minsk and Moscow makes Belarus a minefield for the EU. According to experts, Brussels must be humble.
The EU's influence in Belarus is very limited, contrary to that of Russia. So in the short term, it may well be that the EU does not really have much influence at all on what is going on. Still, I would say the moral and also practical humanitarian support to the people demonstrating in Belarus, to the civil society, is very important.
The EU recognizes Lukashenko as the president to enter dialogue with and is asking for new transparent elections. But for the moment, this is not an option for the ruling regime.
We are in favor of democracy, the rule of law, and free and fair elections. And that's why these new elections need to take place under supervision of international organizations. And the best organization for this, from my point of view, would certainly be the OSCE, because the OSCE is the one organization where you not only have the European nations, but also the United States and Canada, but you also have Belarus and Russia on board.
European leaders are threatening to impose targeted sanctions against the individuals responsible for the violence and the falsification of election results. However, critics affirm that this would indirectly affect the population without leveraging the regime effectively.
Sanctions are always very two-edged sword, so to say. I think what the EU has done properly was the timely rejection of recognition of this election. I think that now an attempt to mediate debate between opposition parties, the electoral institutions and the ruling regime would be good, because mediation will actually legitimize the opposition, and their claims.
But Kremlin seems to be Lukashenko's only interlocutor. The stakes are high if another Maidan situation is to be avoided, and the disengagement of the US gives Brussels one more reason to tread carefully. Elena Cavallone, Euronews, Brussels.